The sun was burning hot over the parade ground that afternoon, and the air shimmered with the weight of ceremony. Rows of Marines stood tall in perfect formation, their discipline like steel, unyielding, unbroken. Senator John Kennedy had been invited to speak at the event, to honor the courage of men and women who had laid their lives on the line for the country. Cameras clicked, the crowd buzzed with respect, and Kennedy, with his characteristic drawl and calm dignity, made his way down the line of soldiers, shaking hands with each one. But then, it happened. One Marine, rigid in posture, his face stone-cold and his eyes locked forward, did not extend his hand when Kennedy reached him. The moment was subtle, almost too quick for most to notice. But the air shifted instantly. A refusal. A defiance. A statement made in silence. Gasps rippled through the audience. Some whispered, others frowned. The cameras caught everything. Kennedy, known for his quick wit and sharp tongue, could have easily brushed it off or delivered one of his trademark quips. Instead, he stood there for a moment, looking at the Marine not with anger, not with embarrassment, but with a kind of stillness that made even the most restless in the crowd freeze. What no one knew was that this young Marine, Sergeant David Miller, had just returned from a grueling deployment overseas. He had buried friends, watched brothers in arms fall, and carried scars on his body and his soul that no metal could heal. To him, shaking the hand of a politician felt hollow, like pretending that the pain of war could be washed away with a smile and a grip. Kennedy, sensing the weight of the moment, didn't force his hand forward. He let it fall to his side. And then, instead of moving on, he leaned closer and said quietly, just loud enough for the Marine to hear, "Son, you don't owe me a handshake. You don't owe me a thing. I owe you." The words pierced the silence. The cameras couldn't capture the tremor in the Marine's jaw, but those nearby could see his eyes flicker, his hardened composure cracking. Kennedy didn't wait for applause, didn't try to salvage his image. Instead, he turned back toward the microphone, his voice carrying heavy with sincerity. "You all saw what just happened," he began, his southern cadence steady, but now filled with an emotion rarely seen in politics. "And I want you to understand something. That young man doesn't owe me respect. He doesn't owe any politician respect. He's given more to this country than most of us in this crowd ever will. He's carried the burden of freedom on his shoulders, while too many of us carried only comfort." The crowd went silent. Reporters who had been ready to spin the moment into controversy lowered their pens. Parents who had lost sons and daughters in war felt something stir inside them: recognition, validation, dignity. Kennedy's voice grew stronger. "The truth is, sometimes we ask too much of these men and women, and we give too little.